children, I hope you all are good. Once again I am here with the new and very interesting topic of geography, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. And in this chapter beta we are going to study about the different types of the vegetation which are found in the earth and as well as the different types of the wildlife. And moreover we are going to discuss about the need of conservation of these natural vegetation and wildlife. So let's start the chapter with the natural vegetation. First of all, you need to understand what is natural vegetation. See, vegetation which can grow without any interference of human, that is known as natural vegetation. Means there is no interference of the human being. They grow naturally. And these natural vegetation, they comes under the biosphere. And you know what is biosphere? When the lithosphere, land, hydrosphere, water, and atmosphere, air, these collectively combine. See, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. When they collectively combine, so what they provide us? Bio. Bio means life. So it becomes the biosphere. Okay. So this is the biosphere, and in biosphere we are having the natural vegetation. See, in the natural vegetation we are having the different types of flora and fauna, and they are interdependent on each other in this environment. And you know beta, this life supporting portion of the biosphere is known as ecosystem. The size of ecosystem can be that of the small pond, or you can say the whole ocean. That is also the part of ecosystem. Now we are going to discuss about the vegetation. See beta, vegetation and wildlife, they are considered the valuable resources in the ecosystem. Without vegetation and wildlife, we cannot survive. And you know there is a great importance of plants on this earth. Plant gives shelter to animals. Plants provide oxygen, the air which we breathe in, and moreover, plants protect the soil and even they help to growing the crops. Moreover, there are hundreds of utilities of the plants. We know we are utilizing the plants in one or another way. Plants are one of the two forms of life on earth. One is the plant kingdom, that is flora, and the another is the animal kingdom, that is also known as fauna. And you know microbes, they are also known as the separate division. There are around 3 lakh plant species and around 10 lakh animal species known to be exist on this earth. So we are having the mega biodiversity, means different types of the plants, animals, microbes, and you can say reptiles, mammals, different kinds we are having, and they are existing on the earth. Maximum plants are green and they prepare their own food, and when they are preparing their own food, that process is known as photosynthesis process. And this encourages the interdependence and exchange of matter and as well as energy among the 3 realms of the earth. What are those 3 realms? Number 1 land, number 2 air, and number 3 water. Now these are the diversity of the plants and animals. Now gathering of plant species living in an association with each other in a particular environment, that is known as vegetation. And I have told if the vegetation grow without the interference of the human, then that is the natural vegetation. Forests form the most important natural vegetation zones on the earth. They consist thousands of plants and animal species which are interacting with the different types of the climatic factors, pressure, temperature, etc. And then they adopt them, and according to that grow. Means every vegetation is having the different characteristics, depend on the climatic structure, depend on the soil cover, depend on the relief feature. So if you are in the mountainous region, you will find the different vegetation. If you are in the desert region, you will find the different vegetation. So let's start discussing with the major vegetation types. Grasslands, forest, tundra and scrub, they are the major vegetation types on the earth. So we will discuss these all step by step in this chapter. Now beta, evergreen and deciduous, these two are the main subdivision of the forest. In these vegetation zone, there is a great variation of the biodiversity. Biodiversity means a different kinds of animals, mammals, reptiles, flora, fauna, etc. They are basically natural ecosystem. Here only forest resources will be discussed, so we are going to discuss about the forest resources. So distribution of evergreen forest, how it happened in the world, let's discuss. Forests are generally classified on the basis of their climatic condition. Climate is the major factor to determine the growth of the trees in the different forests. They are differentiated by various latitudinal zones. Means if you are near to the equator or you are far away from the equator, the temperature is high or low, or the rainfall is the minimum or extreme. These all factor depends on the growth of the forest. So number 1, we are going to discuss about the tropical evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen forest beta found in between the 5 degree to 10 degree north and south latitudes. Means if you are looking at your globe like this, and this is your equator, 0 degree. So 0 degree say when you are moving towards the 5 degree up north and 5 degree south. So here 5 degree north to 5 degree south latitude, you will find the tropical evergreen forest. And these include your Amazon basin, presently the largest rainforest area in the world. And then after that Zaire, that is in the Congo, basin of the Africa, then Eastern Central America, parts of Panama, Costa Rica, and there are n numbers of the different evergreen forest. Now see, evergreen forest which we can found in India in the Assam, Meghalaya region, and moreover in the Western Ghat also. See, here we can find the evergreen forest in India. And in Amazon basin, these forests are also known as the selvas. Selvas, Amazon जो basin है, there we called as selvas. The broad-leaved evergreen trees include the hardwood trees like mahogany, ebony, cinchona, rosewood. These are the important trees of evergreen forest. And you know beta, you can see in the pictures the height of the trees. The height of the trees reach up to the 60 meter. That you have to remember. 60 meter height reached, the tree's height in the rainforest or selvas or tropical evergreen forest. And moreover, these trees are having the hardwoods. That you also have to understand. And they are evergreen because they don't have a particular time to shed their leaves. And they are having the broad leaves like. Now the second forest is the coniferous forest. Coniferous forest you can find in between 50 degree to the 70 degree in north latitude. Only north latitude I am talking about, not the south. Means you have to go upwards from the equator. 0 degree equator, say when you are going to move till the 50 degree latitude to the 70 degree latitude, you will find the coniferous forest in the northern hemisphere. And this vegetation zone is also known as taiga. And taiga vegetation is found in the Siberia and then North Canada, Norway, Sweden, Baltic Republic, etc. Now the trees of these forests are having the thick, thick and needle shaped leaves. बिल्कुल needle shaped आपको इस तरीके से conical shaped leaf नजर आएंगी, बिल्कुल pointed and needle shaped leaves होती हैं, thick होती हैं. Why? To reduce the transpiration and protect themselves from the cold winter. They do not shed their leaves at a particular time or a particular season and form the canopy over the head. When you are moving the coniferous forest, you will find the canopy like this. And these softwood trees also bear cones. Such typical trees like the pine and then devda, aapka kedar, pine, fir, they are the great significance in this coniferous forest. They are of commercial value because these trees are going to use for the commercial purpose. Now third is temperate broad-leaved evergreen forest. And these forests you will find in between the 30 degree to the 40 degree north and as well as in the south latitude. Means in the both hemisphere, northern and southern hemisphere, you will find the temperate broad-leaved evergreen forest. Okay, in northern hemisphere, they are found on the eastern margin. You move to the east direction, eastern margin mein you will find, and in the southern hemisphere, they occupy almost the southern tip of the continents. So these temperate lands are also known as Mediterranean lands. The climate type, if you are going to see of this forest, so that is wet winter and dry summer season. The areas include European, Asian, African lands bordering the Mediterranean Sea. And moreover, the European lands include the Rhine Valley of France, southern Italy, Greece, etc. Asiatic lands में अगर आप देखते हैं तो North Coastal Africa, Morocco, these are the places for the temperate broad-leaved evergreen forest. Now see other areas, if we are going to discuss, they are having the similar type of the climate and vegetation. They are the central and the southern California in the USA, Cape Town area of South Africa, coastal zone of southern and southwest Australia. The typical tree, if you are going to ask what type of the trees are found in these forests, so main trees is eucalyptus. And apart from eucalyptus, oak, wattle, they all are found here, and these all trees are having the commercial value. They are using for the commercial purpose. Now moving to the Mediterranean forest. Mediterranean climate, or you can say the biome, occur on western margin of the continent in the mid latitudes. See beta, whenever you are going to find these forests, please make sure that you are having a globe, or you can draw the diagram of the globe and find out the latitudes. So when I am talking about the mid latitudes, see the midpoint, and then western margin, west side, western hemisphere. Then wet winters, warm and hot summers जो है, that is the climatic condition of Mediterranean forest, and that's why the Mediterranean forests grow because of this wet winter and warm hot summers. The trees have waxy and as well as the small leaves which are also very stiff and hard. Now see, these are having the hard trees. And then stems have thick bark. Bark की thickness ज़्यादा होती है. And then these trees also grow on a thin soil cover. That you have to underline. Thin soil cover. And their roots are few but go very deep into the earth. The shrubs are part of vegetation community. They are however widely spaced. Among them, the commercially important and tropical trees, they are chestnut, after that olive, then cork, and then numerous species of the eucalyptus. So main tree is the eucalyptus which is found in the Mediterranean forest. Now we are going to discuss about the deciduous forest. Previously we have discussed about the evergreen forest. Now distribution of the deciduous forest. So first of all, tropical deciduous forest. See beta, these forests are found in the monsoon type of climate, and that's why they are also known as deciduous monsoon forest. And these forests, you will find where the rainfall is above 200 centimeter. So that is called the wet deciduous forest. And the most dominant and second type is deciduous forest. The trees, if you find here, they are shedding the leaves after a regular interval. Means for the 6 to 8 weeks in a year, they shed their leaves. So they are, you cannot say they are the evergreen. They generally receive rainfall in between 70 to 200 centimeter. Now, there are two types. If you are finding the tropical deciduous forest in between the 70 to 100 centimeter, so you can say it's a dry deciduous forest. If it is 100 to 200 centimeter, then it is the wet deciduous forest. Now these monsoon or deciduous forests are spread all over the India, Pakistan, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, East Africa, Central America, Brazil के eastern part and North Australia. The number of plant species in these forests are lesser than those if we are going to compare with the equatorial region or the evergreen forest. The leaves are extraordinarily large to trap more and more rainfall during the wet season. The thick girth of the stem and rough or coarse bark also help in spacing out the trees and conserve soil moisture. So this is the structure of the stem, bark and leaves so that they can conserve the moisture in between them. Now main trees of tropical deciduous forests are teak, sal, shisham, bamboo, mahua, jamun, neem, etc. Moving to the mid-latitude deciduous forest. Now this vegetation has some different characteristics of West European type climate, which is found in the part of China, Japan, Siberia, Korea, etc. Now the dominant species of trees in Europe, that is oak, then beech, ash, birch, elm and chestnut. These are the main trees of these forests. In this vegetation zone, the North American parts of the rich with at least 60 dominant species. Wow! 60 dominant species are there, and undergrowth plant in these forests such as bluebell. Bluebells are also found here, and temperature during the winter may fall below 6 degrees centigrade. That you have to remember, sometimes the temperatures go very low. Therefore, trees shed their leaves in winter to protect themselves from extreme cold. Now moving to the wildlife resources. Wow, when the wildlife came in our mind, so different types of the animal fauna kingdom emerged in front of us. Wildlife refers to both plants and animals found in forests. All the domestic animals have come today. They came from the wild animals. We started to domesticate them. Therefore, wild ancestors of domestic animals are essential for survival of the species. Even those animals which have not been domesticated are very, very important because of their evolution life on the earth. If you are going to see last 100 years, number of the wild creatures have either died out or extinct. Why? If they are extinct, then this is the problem, because every flora, every fauna, they are interdependent with each other to form the web ecosystem, beta. And if they are going to extinct, so there will be the ecological imbalance. So this is the time to think why they become the extinct. The savanna grassland of Africa still contain the world's largest pool of wild resources. That is the little, you can say, the good news from the world. Many animals in these grasslands have been hunted down. Each type of vegetation zone discussed, they are having the different types of the wild animal. India has over 89,451 known species of the wild animal. And but still, you know, cheetah extinct. Why extinct? Because of the human activities. We are having 3,546 species of fishes also, and 1,232 species of the birds also. So this is not less number. We are having the good biodiversity, but need to conserve them. One point has been given to you related to the vulture. Sometimes we see the vulture, now we look like that. What is the role of vulture on this earth? Why it is there? Every species is having their own role on this earth. Vulture have very useful role to perform. You know beta, vulture feed on dead matters, dead animals, dead body, and help in decomposition of organic matter. If the vulture will not there, always you do like that. Why? Because dead remain here and there. Some birds of prey in the Indian subcontinent are today threatened species. When we know that they are helping in decomposition everything, we need to protect them. They are dying because of the kidney trouble possible on account of the pollution. These poor birds, they are having the kidney infection. Why? Because of the pollution. Efforts are now being made to ban certain drugs which cause kidney failure of these animals. So we need to protect them. Now moving once again to the tropical rainforest, which are having the plentiful living animals like eagles, tree frogs, monkey, gibbons, howlers. Lots of animals are found in the tropical rainforest. And you have heard about one snake also, on which movies were also there, that anaconda, also found in the tropical rainforest of Amazon basin. In India, at the ground level, jaguar, tapirs and the rhinoceros are found here. In deciduous forest, if we are going to talk about in India, the lions are found in the Gir forest of Gujarat. And in temperate region, the animals of deciduous forest include bears, deer, wolves, and then your porcupines, bears, opossums and wild bears, etc. So we are having the different types of animal in different forest. Then see, we are having frogs, rats, salamanders, turtles are found nearby the water courses. A good number of birds live in the bushes or trees, and we are having the migratory birds also. So animals of the desert, if we are going to discuss, so many types of the desert animal, different types of the lizards, snakes, scorpions, tortoises, foxes, camels, you will find in desert area. So some typical animals of other desert is also found in India. So you can see we have given you variety of the name of the different animals. And we feel very happy that yes, different animals are there, but need to conserve them. Now depletion of forest and wild resources, that is the anxiety. These days this problem arise that day by day the forest and wildlife is going to be the deplete. All the hue and cry about the damage to the natural environment is centered around depletion of forest reserves, including wildlife. We have seen biodiversity and climate are the two chief factors that influence the forest resources. Then where is the problem? Why they are going to deplete? The recommended minimum forest cover is about 33% of the total geographical area. It means every country need to provide 33% land for the forest cover. But you will find every country, most of the country is not having such percentage of land under the forest cover. The word forest cover has already come down. If you are going to compare, it is 30% total land of the world. In some country like India, forest cover is very less. It is about just 20%, where we are talking 33% is required, essential, mandatory, but 20% we are having. Over the last 2 centuries, some countries have lost between 50 to 100% of their forest cover. My God, the countries where maximum forest cover has been lost in past decade, that is, you will surprise, Nigeria, Costa Rica, Thailand, Uruguay, Colombia, Brazil, Indonesia, they have lost their 50% to 100% forest cover. Now, what are the factors responsible for this depletion? There are several factors work together for the depletion of the resources. Number 1, agri-fuels. I am going to give you one example. In South America, vast tracts of forest land of Brazil and Venezuela have been devoted to cultivating crops that are useful for producing the bioenergy. So sometimes we feel very happy, yes, it is good if we are doing the cultivation. But see beta, the cultivation, agriculture and forest, they are the different things and both are having the importance. By doing the deforestation, you cannot increase the cultivable land. This is not the right way to increase the food production or to increase the bioenergy. But these people are doing, Brazils are doing, they are deforesting, clearing the forest and making the land under the cultivable area and then grow crop which provide them bioenergy. This has also caused loss of habitats of many wild animals. Now, second reason of the depletion is the hunting and poaching. When we going to illegal kill the animal, that is poaching. For pleasure, for trade, that is our hobby. Illegal hunt kar diya animal ko, that is hobby. No, it's a poaching. while the animals are poached for their precious hides. Hides means skin. Sometimes the question arises, why the people are going to kill or hunt the animals? Because of their nails, their teeth, their horns, their hides. This is very wrong. Sometimes the animals and birds are killed for their feathers, fur. Some of these animals are victims of poaching on a large scale, including the tigers, elephant, rhino, crocodile, deer, ostrich and peacock. And you will be surprised, beta, the owl is killed just for the nail. Because its nail, people seems very important if they are going to use this nail, so their business will increase and something happen. This ideology of the people, they try to take out the nails of the owl, and for that they kill the owl. So see, animals are killing for these purpose. Most of the animals in savanna grassland and in the Himalayas or even in the desert of Rajasthan have been killed for just sports and pleasure activity. Many others are killed for meat, wool or for trade animals products like ivory. You can see in the picture rhino, one-horned rhino. Elephant, it is killed. Why? For tusk. So this is, okay, hunting and poaching is the another reason for depletion. Then third is the deforestation. Rapid rise of population has placed huge demand of the various uses of land to meet the present day population's demand. Now we need the agriculture, we need the habitation, industries, roads, etc. And for that purpose we need the land. So what happened? Okay, we need the land, so clear the forest. Deforestation happened on the large scale. And then next reason is the pollution. It results in the climatic change or the global warming, etc. We are doing the different types of the pollution which maintain I am telling means ecological imbalance. It also poses a serious threat to the wild animals also. Itna global warming, itna intense heat that they are not going to survive. Then economic exploitation, commercial utilization of trees and forest product is very high, and for that commercial utilization we are indiscriminately exploited the resources to increase our economic development. That is also very wrong. Then other agents such soil erosion, then floods, extension of desert, grazing by domestic animals are other important causes of depletion of forest resources. So these are the reasons. Now what is the solution? The solution is conservation. When we know that these are the problem, now we need to save. What are the goals for conservation? Number one, preserve the biodiversity. This should our goal. We need to preserve our biodiversity. Sustainable resources use should be there. Better quality of life, clean air and water is our right. We need it. And then aesthetic pleasure. Now following measures or methods we can adopt to conserve these, because these are our goal. We need to achieve it. How we can achieve? Number one, institutional measure. The government has enacted many forest laws, established national parks, biosphere reserve, etc. Started many projects, some of the special projects like Tiger, Save Rhino, etc. Anti-pollution legalization we can do, the killing of wild animals should ban, etc. So in this way, by doing the proper legalization, by making the proper rules, regulation, policy or strict law, we can preserve or conserve our wildlife or other resources. Now India is prohibited to kill the elephant or any other animal. India has so far set up 14 biosphere reserve, 92 national parks and 500 wildlife sanctuary till March 2005. Now next we can do the afforestation. More and more plants we should grow in the vacant land so that we can do the afforestation. Then more and more strict laws should be introduced to prohibit killing the animals. So legalization is also important. Prevention loss on accounts of calamities like flood ho gaya aapka, forest fire ho gaya. We need to preserve these natural calamity because these also happen sometimes due to the negligence of the human being. Then community initiative. Now it's our turn that we have to take the steps. We have to enter into the measures where we can save the wildlife or we can save the forests. Some of the example of the conservation are community initiative, where we can see that Bishnoi in Rajasthan, they started to conserve the forest and wildlife. They have maintained vast area under the forest cover in the arid region. The Yellowstone National Park in USA is the another example. Africa, which was earlier famous for hunting expedition called safari, is now best known for its national park in the Savannah region. Now, what is CITES? CITES. CITES is an international body which stands for Conservation on International Trade in Endangered Species. It is related to the wildlife, flora and fauna. So, CITES says what it says. It says that the conservation of wildlife and forest have to go together hand in hand, as the existence of animal largely depends on the forest. So, following works are done by the CITES. Number 1, they prevent the poaching, illegal killing को वो prevent करते हैं. Prohibit international trade in the species of wild animals or wild plants. Even they try to protect wild plants and wild species. Nearly 28,000 species of plants and 5,000 species of animals are protected by CITES under their agreement. Some of the example are orchid, aloes, corals, cactus, dolphin, etc. They try to prevent. Then natural vegetation and wildlife is crucial for the flow of energy through food chain and oxygen in atmosphere. So, its resource value is not by exploitation, but by making them best and for efficient use. So, it needs to care, to protect for the present and as well as for the future also. So, that's end for the chapter. Let's discuss the important points. More than 3 lakh plant species and 10 lakh animal species are known to exist on this earth. Plant growth ceases when temperature falls down till 6 degree or below 6 degrees centigrade. Evergreen and deciduous are 2 main types of forest. Then we also discussed deciduous trees shed their leaves for 6 to 8 weeks in a year in a particular dry season for loss of moisture, to save from the loss of moisture. Hunting today is the threatened for many wildlife sanctuary. Tropical rainforests are found in the area around the equator. Scrub vegetation consists mainly of the stunt plants, thorny bushes, etc. Then the forests provide livelihood to many forest communities and villages. Forest fire is another reason for the forest depletion, and the National Wildlife Action Plan 1983 prohibit the trade of rare and endangered species. And the another important point, hunting of wild animals and bird is banned. So, that's end for the chapter. I hope you understand. Please do the exercise carefully.